Hey, you guys. So, you see all this junk right here? This is all junk that came from my fingernails. When I woke up this morning, my fingernails were dirty. And then I have like this, whatever it is that they wrote on my hand. It looks like numbers or something. And mind you, this is my right hand, so I'm not left handed. So I write with my right hand. So I know I didn't write that on my hand. But I wanted to show you guys that because these are the things that these game stalkers do. And the reason why I say that is because um I've seen like pictures on like Pinterest and like other things where um they have, they try to make a mockery of me because of my faith. So I've seen pictures on Pinterest of my hand like pointing at the words in like a Bible, and my fingernails look like filthy dirty. Which, don't get me wrong, because I am very much a tomboy, and I like to be outside. I like being, I'm very hands-on. I like climbing rocks. I like, picking up things. I like, so my fingernails will get dirty. Um, but I don't keep my fingernails filthy dirty. I take a shower every day. You know, I'm just a person. But they try to do these tactics to where they make you seem like you're a dirty person, or like you're a person that you're not, trying to portray you to be something that you're not. So this morning, last night when I made this video, I had my hair in the braid. I had my hair in braids, and yeah, so I had just got out the shower. I, spoke with y'all in the video, and like you can kind of see my hands on there. My hands are not dirty. So then this morning when I wake up, why do I have all that dirt underneath my fingernails? Why is there stuff written on my hand that they it looks like they try to wipe off? Or and I think that's a joke because thank you to one of the readers that I watched, Des. She kind of always talks about quantum codes on her page, and I started looking into them, and I'm like, oh yeah, so like I'll write quantum codes like on a blue piece of tape, and like I'll either put it like on me on my shirt, or I'll put it on my vape because yes, I vape. I know I shouldn't. I need to stop, but or I'll put it on my vape, or I'll put it like on my water bottle, or I'll put it somewhere, so that way, you know, I I can see it and it's around me and stuff, and like I feel like this was like a joke because they're like, oh, she wants to write quantum codes. We'll write something on her hand, maybe their own little quantum code. Who knows what it is? But it's just these are the kind of things that these game stalkers do to like harass you and to try to paint you out to be something that you're not. But even if I was, let's just say, even if I was a dirty person, didn't take a bath for 3 or 4 days, what is it your business? Why would you care? Like, I personally don't have a set schedule. I'll take a bath or a shower whenever I want, as long as I do it within the 24-hour period. I don't care because I just don't have a set schedule. But why does it matter to you? Why do you care if I take a shower, if I don't? And I can guarantee you, even when I was homeless and didn't have a place, I always found water to be able to take a shower. One time I had to take a shower at a cemetery, and I did it because I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to clean myself. So to me, the fact that like these people do like these ridiculous things to like try to belittle people or try to make them feel less than, it just doesn't make sense to me, and I'll never understand it because I just don't work that way. And I've come to the realization it's not for me to understand. I have to give the reason why I always say just let it be. Oh well, just let it go, because to me now I know, like, if I make it my problem, it's going to be my problem. But if I give it to God, then it's God. And like the war that they're fighting doesn't belong to me. It belongs to God because I've given it to God. So when they think that they're battling against me, they're not. They're battling against God. And, the only thing that all this has done to me since I was a kid, I have been, I've had a rough life. I've had to fight the uphill battle of constant ridicule and constant, people trying to constantly make me feel like I'm not enough. And um just it's been a lot. It's been hard, but I do know, like, I have to let it go and give it to God, and that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I'm not going to stop talking cuz I do feel like these videos are going to save me, or maybe save someone else, or even to let someone understand, Like, you're not alone if you're going through this. Like, I understand what you're going through. And if you do feel alone, reach out to me, send me a message. I will message you back. But if you're messaging me in regards to like, hey, I feel like I'm going through the same thing as you, not messaging me like, oh, you look so pretty, or oh, you're like, I don't like all that. I just don't. And like I said in that the video last night, like, I truly do not like all attention on me. So the fact that I'm making videos like this, it definitely takes me out of my comfort zone. It definitely, I mean, there's a little bit of comfort knowing that like I'm in my own home and no one's seeing me, and I can go back and review the video and, delete it or send it. But I'm normally not the type of person that likes attention on me. I remember I had won this award at my job, and only two people and the whole like 13 years it had been open had won an award there. And when Danner had came to me and told me I won the award, I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And then he tells me he's going to give it to me in front of, the coworkers, and I did not want him to. I was like, "No, please, like, trying to be like, no, please don't do that. Just I'll take the award. Thank you." And he's like, "No, it's an accomplishment." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want that to happen." So I remember walking away, and I remember telling Travis, my honey trap, like, I told him, so hopefully he thinks about it and he doesn't do it, because I just don't want that. And I remember it made me nervous all day knowing that that was coming up to where he was going to do that to me. And when it did, I was embarrassed, because I just don't like all eyes on me. I don't like to be the center of attention or to, but when you're being gang stalked, you have no choice. So either way, you're being watched. Either way, when you go outside, know all eyes are all on you. They're all on you. Know that you've been humiliated, and they probably have seen you butt naked. And what else is there to hide? If you've seen me to that point, then what else is there to hide? I mean, obviously, I have nothing else to hide. So I started making these videos to kind of, one, save myself if something were to happen to me, and two, just to be able to have a way to communicate with them without having to actually communicate with them, because they don't approach me and I don't approach them, unless, like I said yesterday with the guy that came up to me. But even if I do see a lot of them in the store and like I say hi and they hi back, or some will just me mug, or some won't say anything at all. But I had to figure out a way to be able to like get my point across and let them know, like, y'all are antagonizing me and coming at me for reasons that are untrue. And I wish you guys would have asked me before. I have to give myself I have to blame myself for where I'm at now, because they didn't put the drugs in my mouth. They didn't, make me waste all, my money. They didn't make me do all the things that I did. um I'm I hope it wasn't their fault that the plant closed down that I was working at. But so I done all those things on my own, that led me here. But I do know that, excuse me, my throat. I do know that the life that I've lived the last like 2 or 3 years has been one of the worst seasons of my life, and I would have never imagined or thought that I would be to this point. And I do know I would have never went looking for drugs. Um, but like I said, I make my own decisions, my own choices. I could have consumed it or not, and I decided to consume it. But I want you to know too, if you're not being gang stalked, or you're not, and you end up getting in contact with an individual, or a lover or a best friend, you meet someone and they introduce methamphetamine to you, don't do it, because a lot of these cults and covens and organizations use that specific drug to try to bring you down and try to make you feel like you're crazy, and it's all in your mind and you're delusional, and you're it's because you're a drug addict now, and you're this and you're that and you're all the things that you weren't before. And this drug only gives them that power to be able to hinder you that much more. So don't do any drugs really, but don't don't do that. That I've heard them say like that's the devil's drug, and it, to me, I feel like the drug is whatever you make of it. But when if you're not used to it, like when I first started doing it, I literally would flip out, and I was feeling like, that's why I wasn't sure if the gang stalking was real or if it wasn't. But this is how they maneuver, and they play tactic um, games with your mind, because they really are doing it. But then they're going to tell you, no, it's because you're doing that drug, and it's because you. It wasn't until I got sober and clean that I realized. So me and Travis both had got sober and clean, and for I would say a few months, and we were going to church and we were doing good. And I remember Travis telling me like, you're coming up on your 6 months, and or I don't know if it was 6 months or 3 months, but he was like, around that time, the hardest part is to stay clean. He was like, so around this time you'll start wanting the drug again. You'll start, having withdrawals or wanting. And I'm like, well, no, I feel fine. But once that was put in my head, he was like, tell me and we'll pray about it. And I said, okay. So I remember telling him like, now that you're speaking of it, I have been thinking like about, that, and like nothing's, and he was like, okay, well, we can pray about it. So I remember us sitting at the end of the bed, and us praying about it. And then literally a week later, maybe, or maybe it was that weekend, a few days later, he goes and like gets some, and I took it because it was right in front of my face, and I wish I would have never done that again to myself. So I just want to tell you today, like, if you're not being gang stalked, or if there's someone that comes into your life that tries to offer you this, don't take it. It's not worth it. It's not worth losing everything. It's not worth losing your insanity in some cases, because not everyone. I was blessed that God gave me endurance, like a strong endurance and willpower to wanna push through and to wanna, but not everybody can do that. There's people that I've met since I've lived, when I was living that lifestyle, and since I've lived that lifestyle, that are old, like and I'm not judging them, because I understand it's hard, and it is hard, um that have tried to get out of it, that can't get out of it. It's not worth it. It's not worth losing everything you love and your whole life flipping upside down. So don't do it. Don't feel like you're missing out on something, because I promise you it's nothing you're missing out on. And every day that you consume it, your life will get worse and worse, and you're going to live with regret. I know. So don't do it. Say no. And don't allow these people to affect you. Don't allow it. Give your problems and your issues to God, and know that God's going to handle them. Well, that being said, you guys have a good day.